My name is Mark, 42M, and my wife, Lisa, 39F, just turned my life into a living hell. We've been married for 15 years, and until recently, I thought we had a rock-solid marriage. But apparently, I've been a blind fool. For a little background, Lisa and I met when I was 27, and she was 24. She was fiery, outspoken, and knew how to charm a room. I was drawn to her confidence, mistaking it for honesty. We built a life together, a beautiful house, and what I thought was a happy marriage. Things took a dark turn when my stepson, Jake, 22M, moved back in with us 6 months ago. He's Lisa's son from a previous relationship. His dad bailed when he was a baby, and I stepped in as his father when he was 7. I always tried my best with him, even though he's been a handful. He never really respected me, always had this smug attitude like he was better than everyone else. Lisa always babied him, which I chalked up to guilt over his father leaving. But I never, in a million years, imagined that my wife and my stepson were sleeping together. And I sure as hell never imagined that they'd infect me with an STD. It started with Lisa acting weird. She'd been distant, irritable, and suddenly way too interested in her appearance. She went from rolling out of bed in sweatpants to getting dolled up every day, even when she wasn't leaving the house. When I asked about it, she just snapped at me. God, Mark, I can't make an effort for myself? Not everything is about you. That was Lisa's thing. She always had a way of flipping things around, making me feel like I was the crazy one. Then, about a month ago, I noticed something else. She barely touched me anymore. We used to have a great sex life, but suddenly, she was too tired, too busy, too everything. And if I so much as brought it up? Ugh, you just don't get it, do you? I'm not a machine, Mark. I should have pushed harder. I should have questioned things. But I trusted her. I loved her. That trust shattered when I went to the doctor last week. I had been experiencing discomfort. I'll spare you the details, but let's just say things down there weren't right. First, I thought it was a UTI or something minor. But when the test results came back, the doctor told me I had chlamydia. I laughed. I laughed because I thought it was a mistake. Doc, I've been married for 15 years. There's no way. But there was a way. And my wife was the key to it. I confronted Lisa that night. I came home, slammed the test results on the table, and demanded an explanation. She looked at them, scoffed, and said, "Are you seriously accusing me? Maybe you should be the one explaining, Mark." I was stunned. Lisa, I've never cheated on you. Not once. Not ever. Where the hell did this come from? She just rolled her eyes. STDs can lie dormant, you know. Maybe you got it before we even met. That was a straight-up lie. I knew it. I'd been tested before we got married. I was clean. But she wasn't done lying yet. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Besides, you could have gotten it from a toilet seat or something." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you serious right now? Do you think I'm that stupid? You know damn well that's not how it works. She huffed and crossed her arms. Well, if you don't believe me, then I don't know what to tell you. That's when I knew. I don't know what hit me first, the anger or the heartbreak. My own wife had cheated on me, lied to my face, and gave me a disease. But I still had no idea about the worst part. Not yet. That part came later when I dug deeper. After Lisa gaslit me into thinking I was crazy, I did what any sane person would do. I started digging. I needed to know the truth. First, I tried playing it cool. I watched her closely, paid attention to her reactions, and noticed how defensive she got whenever I brought up the STD. But Lisa was always good at playing the victim, so I knew I needed evidence. That night, after she went to bed, I took her phone. She always slept with it under her pillow, a new habit she'd picked up in the past few months. But she must have been exhausted from all the lying because she didn't even stir when I slid it out. Her passcode hadn't changed. Good. I expected to find messages with some unknown guy. Some random dude from the gym or work. But what I found? Nothing. Her texts were clean, too clean. Like she had deleted everything. So I checked her photos. And that's when my stomach dropped. There was a hidden album. One I'd never seen before. And in it, A selfie, a naked selfie taken in our bathroom. But it wasn't just the picture that made my blood turn to ice. It was the date. 2 weeks ago. Lisa and I hadn't been intimate for over a month. Who the hell was she sending this to? Then, I noticed something else. There was a reflection in the mirror. A small, blurry figure just outside the frame. It was hard to make out, but something about it looked familiar. That's when my heart started racing. I went to the recently deleted folder. My hands were shaking as I restored the most recent deleted items. And that's when I found them. More photos, videos, and one text message screenshot that made me feel like I was going to throw up right there on the spot. It was a message from her to someone named Jay. Lisa, you left a scratch on my back, you asshole. Mark almost saw it. And then the response.
J. Lol.
Maybe he should know how good his wife gets F*** edition*. My breath caught in my throat. I knew a Jay who lived under my roof. A Jay who called my wife mom. I felt my entire world collapse in that moment. Lisa wasn't cheating on me with some random guy. She was cheating on me with Jake, my stepson. And the worst part? He was the one who had infected her with chlamydia. Which meant that Lisa hadn't just betrayed me. She had given me a disease she got from her own son. I don't remember how long I sat there, staring at Lisa's phone. My brain refused to process what I was seeing. I kept thinking, this can't be real. This has to be some kind of nightmare. But the messages, the pictures, the videos, they were all right there. Undeniable. Unforgivable. My own stepson, the kid I helped raise, was screwing my wife. And somehow, this disgusting, incestuous relationship had been going on long enough for him to give her an STD. And then, the final nail in the coffin. A video. I hesitated before clicking it, my gut already twisting into knots. But I needed to see. I needed proof. It was shaky, low light, but I knew the setting immediately. Our bedroom. Our bed. And there she was. Lisa. Completely naked. Laughing as she held the camera up to her face. Say hi, baby, she giggled. Then the camera flipped, and there was Jake. I dropped the phone like it burned me. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might explode in my chest. I could feel my pulse in my ears, in my throat, in my fists. I was going to kill them. I was going to wake Lisa up and drag her out of that bed by her hair. I was going to throw that little bastard out of my house and beat the absolute life out of him. But then, something else hit me. Lisa had tried to gaslight me. She knew what she did, she knew I had chlamydia, and she was still playing the victim. And Jake? That smug little prick? He had been laughing behind my back this whole time. My hands were shaking, but I forced myself to calm down. I needed a plan. I needed to be smart. If I woke Lisa up now, she'd deny everything. She'd twist it. She'd make it my fault somehow. And Jake? That punk was too cocky for his own good. He'd been careless enough to let this get back to me. No, I wasn't going to react right away. I was going to make them think they got away with it. I was going to destroy them both. I barely slept that night. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to Lisa breathe beside me like she hadn't just completely shattered my world. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the messages, the pictures, that video, her moaning, laughing, tangled up with Jake in our bed. I wanted to throw up, but I couldn't let her know I knew. Not yet. When she woke up in the morning, she stretched and yawned like she was any other loving wife. "Morning, babe," she mumbled, rolling over to kiss my cheek. I flinched before I could stop myself. She pulled back, frowning. "What's wrong with you?" I forced a smile. "Nothing. Just tired." "Yeah, well, maybe get some sleep instead of playing detective all night," she muttered as she climbed out of bed. "You're seriously acting weird, Mark." I watched her walk into the bathroom, my mind racing. She had no idea. No idea that I'd gone through her phone. No idea that I knew what she was doing with my stepson. I had to be careful, testing the waters. Over the next few days, I started watching them both more closely. I noticed the little things I had been too blind to see before. Lisa was way too nice to Jake. I mean, she had always babed him, but now, she was practically glowing when he was around. laughing at all his stupid jokes, finding excuses to touch him, his arm, his shoulder, his damn face. And Jake? That little bastard was cocky, smug, like he was in on some joke I didn't understand. At dinner, I decided to test them. "So, Jake," I said casually, cutting my steak, "any new girls in your life?" Lisa immediately stiffened. Jake smirked. "Yeah, you could say that." I kept my face blank. "Oh yeah? Anyone I know?" Lisa dropped her fork. "Why are you even asking him that? What, are you his dad now?" I almost laughed. The defensiveness was immediate, but I just shrugged. "Just making conversation." Jake grinned. "Nah, man. She's just someone close to home." Lisa kicked him under the table. I saw it, and that's when I knew for sure. They thought I was an idiot. They thought I had no idea. I was gonna make them regret ever thinking they could fool me. Laying the trap. The first thing I did was back up everything. I transferred the photos, the texts, and the videos to a separate folder, then emailed them to myself. I wanted to make sure that no matter what happened next, I had proof. The second thing I did, I set up a hidden camera in our bedroom. I wanted to catch them in the act. And then, I was gonna burn their lives to the ground. Took 3 days. 3 long, agonizing days of pretending I didn't know. 3 days of forcing myself to kiss Lisa goodnight while picturing her and Jake in our bed. 3 days of waiting, watching, and keeping my rage bottled up like a ticking time bomb. And then, on the 4th day, my patience paid off. Lisa told me she was going to run errands. I played along. "Want me to come with you?" She sighed dramatically. "Mark, I swear, you're so clingy lately. I just need some time to myself." "Okay?" I just smiled. "Of course, babe. Take all the time you need." As soon as she left, I checked my phone. The hidden camera app was live. She didn't go run errands. She didn't even leave the damn neighborhood. She went straight to Jake's room, catching them in the act. I had the perfect view from my phone. Lisa walked in, shut the door behind her, and within seconds, she was on him, kissing him, straddling him, taking off her clothes like some desperate teenager sneaking around with her high school boyfriend. My wife, the woman I had loved for 15 years. I could hear her voice through the speakers, whispering, giggling. "I missed you today." Jake chuckled. "We saw each other this morning." She kissed him again. "I don't care. I just can't help myself around you." That was it. I snapped. I stormed into Jake's room, flinging the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. Lisa screamed and scrambled to cover herself. Jake froze, his face going pale as I loomed over them, my phone recording everything. "Don't stop on my account," I said, my voice eerily calm. "Go ahead. Keep going. Let's see what other filthy secrets you two have been hiding." Lisa's face went from shock to pure fury. "What the hell, Mark?" I laughed. "You're seriously yelling at me? You're naked in bed with your own son, Lisa. And I'm the bad guy." Jake jumped up, fumbling for his pants. "Look, man, I turned on him so fast he nearly tripped over himself." "You shut your damn mouth." My fists clenched at my sides. "You're a disgusting little piece of shit. I took care of you. I raised you. And this is how you repay me." Lisa stood up, wrapping a sheet around herself. "You have no right to invade my privacy like this. How dare you spy on me?" I blinked. "How dare I?" I burst out laughing again. "You're sleeping with your own son, Lisa, and I'm supposed to feel bad for invading your privacy?" And then, the final bombshell. Lisa rolled her eyes. Freaking rolled her eyes like she was just so done with me. "Oh my God, Mark. Stop being so dramatic. It's not like that."
Ist daher.
"Not like that." Pointed at Jake. "You were just riding him 5 seconds ago, Lisa." She scoffed. "We're both adults. We're consenting." I felt my stomach turn. "You're his mother." Lisa shrugged. "Stepmother." I almost hit her, right then and there. But I didn't, because I had better plans. Lisa smirked. "So what now, Mark? You gonna cry? Divorce me?" She tilted her head. "Let's be real, you don't have the balls. You're too much of a coward to leave me." Jake chuckled under his breath. That's when I knew. They thought they had me beat. They thought I was weak. They had no idea what was coming next. Lisa stood there, smirking like she had won. Like I was just some pathetic loser who would take this and roll over. Jake? That little bastard had the nerve to laugh under his breath. Like this was all some joke. They had no idea who they were messing with. I took a deep breath, let the rage settle into something colder. I looked Lisa dead in the eye and said, "Oh, I'm leaving you, all right? But not before I burn your entire world to the ground." That wiped the smirk off her face. She tried to scoff. "Oh, please. What are you gonna do, Mark? Tell everyone? No one's gonna believe you." I grinned. "Oh, they'll believe me. Because I have proof." I pulled up the hidden camera footage on my phone and hit play. Lisa's face drained of color. Jake? He looked like he was about to pass out. I turned the volume all the way up, letting the disgusting sounds of their little affair fill the room. Lisa's giggles, her whispering, the moaning. Jake's eyes bulged. "Dude, turn that off." I let it play for another few seconds, just to twist the knife. Then I hit pause. Lisa tried to recover. "Why you? This is illegal. You can't just record people without." I cut her off. "It's my house, my bedroom, and I'm pretty sure a judge would be more interested in the part where you're screwing your own stepson." Silence. Finally, Lisa whispered, "What do you want?" Bingo. Destroying Lisa. I had already planned this out. I wasn't just gonna divorce Lisa. I was gonna make sure she walked away with nothing. Step 1. I contacted a lawyer first thing the next morning. Explained everything. Showed them the proof. My lawyer's face went white. "Jesus Christ," she muttered. This is bad. For them, yeah." She told me that while Lisa's relationship with Jake wasn't technically illegal since he was an adult, the moral argument would absolutely work in my favor. Judges don't take kindly to incestuous cheating wives. So I got my divorce papers ready. And Lisa? She tried everything to stop me. She cried. She begged. She even tried to seduce me, like she thought I was stupid enough to ever touch her again. Then she switched tactics. Screaming. Gaslighting. Threatening. "I'll take everything, Mark. You're ruining our family over one mistake. You're just jealous because Jake is a real man." That one almost made me snap. But I just smiled. "Take everything? Lisa, you're the one who's unemployed. You're the one who's been screwing your stepson. Good luck explaining that to a judge." Her face fell. She knew she was screwed. Step 2. I leaked the proof. Oh, I didn't just file for divorce. I sent those screenshots and videos to everyone. Lisa's parents. Her friends. Her boss. Not that she had much of a career left. The church she liked to pretend she was so devoted to. And the best part? I sent it to Jake's biological father. Because guess what? That deadbeat might have been absent for years. But the second he found out that his ex was screwing their son, he came raging back into Jake's life. And sued Lisa for full parental rights, even though Jake was an adult. Lisa lost everything. Her reputation? Destroyed. Her family? Disowned her. Her finances? Frozen in court battles. Destroying Jake. Oh, but I wasn't done yet. Jake thought he could just walk away from this. Thought he could go on living his smug little life like he didn't just destroy mine. So I made sure to ruin his future, too. See, Jake had just gotten accepted into a really good internship program. The kind that launches careers. Too bad his new boss got an anonymous email with certain videos attached. Yeah. Jake lost everything, too. The last time I saw him, he was jobless. Living in some dingy apartment with his disgraced mother. Completely cut off from everyone. And me? I walked away. Free. Happy. Clean. Final words. Lisa still tries to contact me sometimes. Emails. Messages. She even showed up at my new house once. I don't respond. Because Lisa and Jake? They're nothing to me now. Just a disgusting mistake that I burned out of my life. And honestly, I have zero regrets. After I filed for divorce and unleashed hell on Lisa and Jake, I expected some peace. What I didn't expect was just how far Lisa would go to try and crawl her way back into my life. See, I thought that once everyone knew the truth, she'd go into hiding. She'd accept that she lost and just slink away in shame. But Lisa, that bitch doesn't know when to quit. The meltdown. 2 weeks after I exposed her and threw her out, I started getting messages. Hundreds of them. Lisa. Fake numbers. Random emails. Some were apologies. Mark, I made a mistake. Please, I love you, we can fix this. Some were angry rants. You're such a bitter, pathetic loser. I hope you die alone. And some were straight up psychotic. She sent me pictures of us from years ago. Wedding photos. Vacation pics. A selfie of her wearing my shirt from when we were happy. The worst? She sent a video of herself crying, playing our wedding song in the background, sobbing about how she missed me, like she wasn't the same woman who was getting railed by her own stepson just weeks ago. I blocked everything, changed my number. But Lisa, oh, she wasn't done yet. The psycho break-in. One night, I was home, enjoying my Lisa-free life, when I heard a noise outside. I checked my cameras, nothing. But something felt off. Then, at 2 a.m., my front door rattled. Someone was trying to get in. I grabbed my bat, stormed to the door, yanked it open, and there was Lisa, standing there in her underwear and a trench coat, looking drunk or high or just completely insane. "Mark," she slurred, smiling like a lunatic. "I came to surprise you." I stared at her. "What the actual fuck are you doing?" She stepped closer, reeking of alcohol. "We can fix this, baby. Let me inside." I laughed in her face. "Are you out of your goddamn mind?" She pouted. "You don't mean that." Then get this, she opened the trench coat, completely naked underneath. I gagged. "Jesus Christ, Lisa." She giggled like a maniac. "Come on, you know you miss me." That's when I lost it. "Miss you?" I shouted. "You slept with your own fucking son. You gave me an STD. And you think showing up naked at my door is gonna fix this?" Her face changed so fast it was terrifying. Her giggle stopped. Her smile disappeared. And she whispered, "If I can't have you, no one can." Then she lunged at me. I barely dodged her, and she scratched my face. Hard. Like a goddamn wild animal. I shoved her off me and grabbed my phone. "I'm calling the cops." That's when she screamed, like full-on banshee-level screaming, fell to the ground and started fake crying. And suddenly she was sobbing. "He hit me. He hit me." I froze. She was trying to frame me. But joke's on her, I had security cameras. I smirked. "You really should have checked for cameras before pulling this stunt." Her sobbing stopped instantly. I pointed at the blinking red light on my porch cam. "That just caught everything, Lisa. The break-in, the attack, the bullshit performance." Her face went pale. Then, without another word, she got up and ran. But it was too late, because I called the cops anyway. Lisa gets what she deserves. Lisa got arrested for trespassing, attempted assault, and filing a false police report. And the best part? Because she was already in the middle of a nasty divorce, her own lawyer dropped her. Now she was jobless, homeless, divorceless, and now, facing charges. And me? I went back inside, cracked open a beer, and laughed my ass off. After Lisa's insane break-in attempt and her pathetic attempt to frame me, she was in deep shit. The police had everything, the footage of her trespassing, attacking me, and then faking a domestic violence claim. She spent a night in jail before her equally useless sister bailed her out. But that wasn't even the best part. See, her little stunt gave me exactly what I needed to fast-track the divorce. My lawyer was ecstatic. "Judges love when one party makes things easy for us," she said, smirking. So we filed an emergency motion, divorcing Lisa in record time. 2 weeks later, I walked into that courtroom with my head held high.
Lisa.
She looked like shit. Unwashed hair, dark circles under her eyes, cheap clothes. She wasn't Lisa the queen bitch anymore. She was just pathetic. The judge barely let her speak. "Mrs. Carter, do you have any defense for your actions?" Lisa cleared her throat. "Your Honor, I was under emotional distress. My husband, ex-husband." My lawyer cut in with a smirk. Lisa glared at her. "Fine. My ex-husband emotionally abused me for years. I was desperate. The judge just raised an eyebrow. Mrs. Carter, we have video evidence of you willingly trespassing, attacking the plaintiff, and then attempting to falsify domestic abuse claims. Would you like to try again? Lisa's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. Lisa loses everything. In one court session, Lisa lost the divorce settlement, any claim to my house, money, or assets, her reputation. The judge granted me everything I asked for. When the gavel slammed down, Lisa just sat there, blinking like she couldn't believe it. She turned to me, her eyes wild. Mark, please, we can work something out. I laughed in her face. Then I stood up, straightened my suit, and walked out without looking back.
Lisa.
She collapsed into tears right there in court. What happened to Jake? Oh, Jake didn't escape either. After I ruined his job prospects, he ended up mooching off Lisa, which was hilarious, because Lisa had nothing left. They fought constantly. Screaming matches. Police called to their apartment multiple times. Then, one day, Lisa's sister, the one who bailed her out, called me. You won't believe this, she said, laughing her ass off. Turns out, Lisa and Jake had completely turned on each other. Lisa blamed him for ruining her life. Jake blamed her for being a crazy bitch. And the best part? Jake left her for another woman, some young girl he met online. And Lisa lost everything. For a guy who dropped her the second things got hard. Final closure. I haven't seen Lisa in over a year now. Last I heard, she was living with her parents, the same parents who disowned her after the scandal. As for me,
I'm thriving.
Divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me. I started working out again, got a raise at work, even started dating. And every time I think about Lisa, I just smile. Because karma, she's a beautiful thing. I thought I was finally free of Lisa. She was broke, disgraced, abandoned by the very person she ruined her life for. The divorce was final, I had moved on, and she had zero power over me. But Lisa, she wasn't done. The email that changed everything. One night, I was sitting on my couch, enjoying a well-earned beer, when my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it, but something made me check. It was an email. From Lisa. Subject: Please Mark, just read this. I rolled my eyes, ready to delete it, but curiosity got the best of me. Big mistake.
Lisa.
Mark, I know you hate me. I know I destroyed everything. But I need your help. Jake left me. He took what little money I had and ran. I have nothing. I'm living with my parents, and they barely talk to me. I know I don't deserve your kindness, but I'm sick, really sick, and I don't have insurance. I don't have anyone. I just need help. Please, Mark, if you ever loved me at all, don't let me die alone. I sat back, staring at the screen. Sick? At first, I thought she was lying. Lisa lied about everything. But something about this email, it felt different. So, against my better judgment, I did some digging. Lisa's karma finally hits. Turns out, Lisa wasn't lying this time. She really was sick. And not just with chlamydia, no, karma decided to go all in. Lisa had contracted something worse. Something uncurable. Something she got from Jake. I almost didn't believe it, but I called around. Got confirmation from a mutual friend. Lisa was completely alone, barely surviving, and now, she was rotting from the inside out. Did I feel bad? For a second, just a second, I felt a tiny twinge of pity. But then I remembered. I remembered the lies, the gaslighting, the betrayal, the STD she gave me without a second thought. I remembered her laughing in my face when I first confronted her. And just like that, any pity I had? Gone. My response to Lisa. I typed back a single sentence. You made your bed, Lisa. Now die in it. Then I blocked her email. Blocked her number. And finally, I felt free. Final thoughts. Lisa gambled everything. Her marriage, her reputation, her life. For a sick, twisted affair with her own son. And in the end, she lost it all. Me? I walked away. Stronger. Happier. Wiser. And Lisa? Lisa is just a cautionary tale now. One I'll never have to hear from ever again. Lisa was gone from my life. Forever. No more desperate emails. No more crazy attempts to manipulate me. No more drama. Just peace. And you know what? I thrived. Rebuilding myself. After the divorce, I made a promise to myself. Never again would I let someone like Lisa have control over me. I started hitting the gym again. Lost weight, built muscle, and felt better than ever. I threw out everything that reminded me of Lisa. Every picture, every keepsake, gone. I traveled. Took a solo trip to the mountains, something Lisa always complained about. Turns out, hiking alone is amazing. I started dating again. Took my time, met new people, and realized Lisa was a downgrade. The best part? I wasn't just surviving. I was winning. What happened to Lisa? Last I heard, Lisa was still rotting away in her parents' basement. Jake? Vanished. Word on the street was that he ran off with some 18-year-old idiot who didn't know any better. Lisa lost everything for that little punk, and in the end, he left her just like everyone else did. I could have felt bad for her, but I didn't. She got exactly what she deserved. Final thoughts. My advice to anyone in this situation: trust your gut. If your partner is acting shady, there's a reason. Cheaters will always lie. Don't fall for their bullshit. Get proof. Don't confront them until you have them dead to rights. Revenge is best served smart. Don't just rage. Destroy them methodically. Moving on is the best revenge. They want to see you broken. Be better. Looking back, I realized something. Lisa's biggest punishment wasn't losing me. It was knowing I walked away and never looked back. And that's the best damn feeling in the world. Thank you for staying with me. This crazy journey is finally over, and I'm ready for what's next. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more interesting stories. And leave a comment with what you would do in this situation. See you in the next videos.